are live in La Cache and Veritas. I'm gonna just let the cat out of the bag and La Cache and Veritas mom. How are you?
And Lakesh Veritas. Oneness and truth to everybody.
So it's been a few weeks since we've had you as a guest on High Frequency Living. Today we are doing a little lunch break of with some guidance on nutrition and wellness, and um, we're going to tie in some of the nutritional guidance that you have for us with some of the energetic work that you're doing in the classes that you teach. So I'd like to kind of highlight some of the tools and tips that we can use to navigate our bodies physically, but also to strengthen the energetic work that we're doing. Does that sound good?
Yes, it sounds great.
Alrighty. So the number one goal and topic that has been kind of out there in the circles of the Sun clientele base and students is about alkalinizing the body. So, number one, can you share with me um, a few of the reasons why it's so valuable for us to transition our bodies into being alkaline from acidic?
It's very important that we understand that the technology that we live in, we are not our bodies, but our technology is affected and very closely monitored. Its pH is monitored for our optimum operation, and that most of what we think, hear, smell, and eat is not alkaline. And so we can easily add to our diets things that we are already familiar with. We just may not have them conveniently available.
Hmm.
Things like we highly recommend having, while the sun is up early in the morning, having fruit. And especially, we like to recommend citrus one day a month to just do citrus. Just eat some grapefruits and some oranges, just one day a month to cut through the mucus, to clean out the colon, to make sure all your joints are not congested and there's not going to be arthritis and pain and things like that. So we highly recommend that you can easily Google almost all fruits and all vegetables are alkaline.
Hmm.
But we would also encourage you to um, try something different than what you've always eaten. So if you've always eaten bread with your meals, try quinoa with your meals. If you've always eaten white potatoes or red potatoes, try blue potatoes. If you grew up eating rice with every meal, try black rice. So the black rice is interesting. All of these are, but the black rice is interesting because in China, when where rice is the main staple of nutrition and has always been,
Hmm.
the amount of black rice that was being produced was less than the white rice, so it was called forbidden rice. It was forbidden for anyone who was not royalty to eat it because it had more nutrition and more vitamins and minerals and more melanation and more anthocyanins than white rice. So we still see it on the shelves in the supermarkets. It's called forbidden rice or black rice, and we highly recommend it. It's quite delicious. You cook it just like regular rice, although you need to cook it longer with more water. But
Hmm.
we would recommend that you try a few different things. Our favorite cooked foods are beans and greens. You can do
As
a
far as
million things.
alkaline rich or ones that
And
help
for
your body.
alkalinity
Okay.
and for less contamination, uh, people think of beans and greens as poor people food, so they haven't done as much to them as they have salmon
Hmm.
and steaks. So there's much less interference with them, and from enchiladas to tacos to all kinds of bean soup and veggie patties and greens with onions and all the things that we know that we like. There's a million things you can do if you have a large family. There's enough amino acids in beans, the many 16 or 18 amino acids in most kinds of beans. And most of the ancient cultures, the Indian culture uses beans in 20 or 30 dishes on a buffet. The Spanish culture uses beans in many, many ways. This is the food that has built civilizations.
Yeah,
And we like greens in that same way. That
it's fun.
you can even forage for greens.
You're reminding me of one of your favorite meals that's super alkaline. That is so satisfying, so good. Is the kale, the semi stewed kale, where it gets still has some life, still some bite to it, but it's also cooked down a little with over quinoa with
Yes.
some balsamic onions and red onion and tomato mix over balsamic with a little maybe some smoked salmon crumbled on top, a little crispy smoked
That's
salmon.
my favorite meal. I could eat it every day. I love
Yeah.
it.
But it's
My,
such a quality meal and so satisfying on your taste buds, but it's also so good for you. You leave it feeling lighter than when you before you started eating, which is pretty crazy.
well, not only that, but what was considered poor man's food, beans and greens, are really those who want to live. It is the wealthiest meal, and it is the one that is least contaminated. So we
Mm,
highly recommend people start going to the farmers markets, leave the big stores alone, go to the farmers markets, get your produce, look for interesting things, try something new, try new alkaline types of food, which is almost every vegetable and fruit. So that's wonderful additions. Also, with blue potatoes, you can get blue potatoes. The glycemic index is much lower, and you can make oven fries with them, and you can make them
yeah,
spicy with cayenne pepper, and you can do them more like breakfast fries with onions, the way that we like them under the oven, and toast it. So you can have really delicious food without a lot of up costs and with almost no contamination, because these foods are so little sought after that they have not spent the money to degrade them at the level they have everything else.
that's
So
interesting.
there's also purple sweet potatoes, which are also delicious, and Japanese sweet potatoes. I encourage you to try some things that are a little different. Go to the international markets, go to the farmers markets, and get some things that are extremely satisfying. Eat like a king. Eat the food that's not
Well,
contaminated.
a part of that is just the amount of care and the amount of time and I guess what would be considered love that's put into the process has so much to do with what you receive out of it and the outcome. So
Absolutely.
the less time it took, the less energy and thought it took, it's probably the least amount of nutrients or gain that you're going to get from it. The more thought, the more I guess I'll say fantasizing, or the more consideration of beforehand, thinking about the meal, seeing the meal, thinking about the vegetables, touching the vegetables, picking the certain perfect ones that you want that's right for you at whatever texture you like it, and then the consideration of the cooking, like you talk about with the black rice. Sure, it's not the 2 minute instant white rice that you're gonna get. However, the reason why it's not that is because it is more of its original state and it's real. So, like, the more thought and consideration that goes in and acknowledgement of the food, the more you can gain out of it as well. Speaking of acknowledgement, I want to take a second and acknowledge a few people in the chat. And I would encourage anybody else that's listening, chime in the chat. Just say in Lakesh and Veritas, hey, greetings, whatever way you like to greet us, send the greetings and let us know you're here so we can acknowledge you as well. We got Terry saying good afternoon to everyone from New York. We got Stacy and Lakesh and Veritas with a bright sun. Same from Cecilia in Lakesh Studio One, our partners in crime. In the Cat Studio One. We appreciate your time and effort, always supporting, and I would encourage everybody to be on the lookout for tomorrow. We got a meditation coming up tomorrow by Inlaket Studio One by Diane. Everyone be on the lookout for that. We're going to go live at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that. Stephanie and Lakesh and Veritas with a big sun and an exclamation point. Thank you, Stephanie. We look forward to seeing. I think everybody in that chat right there is going to be in your quantum light property clearing class, or well, the quantum light property clearing class that we're going to do in October. Oh, Kay is in the chat. In Lakesh and Veritas, she's planning on, she's going to be in the quantum light property clearing class. We got the students here. This is good. I'm glad because one of the things I want to talk about is why is it important for us to alkalinize our bodies and get our bodies right to hold the pitch or hold the light for the energy work that's being taught by of the sun.
It's so it's so interesting that humanity makes a disconnection between, we think we can eat anything that is producing disturbances within the body and that we can still be highly vibrational, but that's just not true.
Mm.
Everything must match. When you when you want to go to a higher state, you have to bring your material with you. You don't get to go and leave the body behind. The body is part of your experience as an earthling. In physical reality, you're a material being, so the material matters. So you have to take care of the material. And even though doctors don't hold to the understanding that alkalinity cures many diseases, we do know that acid will kill you. We do know that if you drink too much of something and you have stomach acid, and that it can cause all kinds of. So we'll just flip the script and say, for sure, it is in your benefit to eat more alkaline, more vegetables, more fruits, and eat the fruit in the early part of the day, eat the cooked food in the evening. And I would encourage everyone to be alkaline, speak directly to the food.
Hmm.
Call back the original blueprint of the original intention from creation that was meant to be in the food for your technology, for your body. Ask the food, will you come back to your original blueprint and serve me in that way? Because I know that that is what you are here for, and that can help me do what I'm here for. So
So
then we serve each other.
if I want to elevate, I'm gonna have to leave this Coke and the Twinkie here. So I should just I'm gonna tell the waitress no, thank you on that. Send it back because geez, I was just about to get into it. Is that the way? No, but that's a great
That's
point.
pretty. That's pretty much the thing. You might want to have a smoothie, or maybe have a salad. Talk to somebody at the farmers market and see if they can get you some salads ready for the week.
Yeah. So what's that saying? There's something you say where like you bring you into everything you do, or you carry you into everything. So for the
You
sake of
take yourself everywhere you go.
right, you take yourself everywhere you go. So for the sake of congruency and the sake of impact, if you want to clear you yourself physically, mentally, and energetically is all a part of that. And it's not.
Oh
It
my
cannot
goodness.
just be energetically. Yeah.
This is such a good point. So many people have the understanding that they learn a technique and that the technique is separate from them. So that the technique has the power the technique has. But when you are the person who's using the technique, you count. So your
Mm,
power or lack of power, your addictions or your lack of addiction, your discipline or your lack of discipline is in the technique.
right.
So many people can learn the same thing, but the ones who are in honor of the bodies that they have and have disciplined themselves to find delicious, wonderful experiences through the foods that have been given to us, by making sure they think about it, that it's not, it's something that they're doing, they're cultivating every experience. It's this idea of, how do you treat yourself when you're just all by yourself and nobody can see you? When
Hmm.
it's just you and your choice of what to eat, do you choose the thing that's best for you and your body? Or do you
Hmm.
choose the thing that you're most addicted to from the chemical sugars?
Yep.
So
So
there's this idea of, how do you treat yourself? And then the reflection in the world. How does the world treat you, what you think is in your privacy? But if you're not treating yourself well in the privacy of just you and your body, how can we expect the world to not read that frequency and treat us the way we treat ourselves? We're treating ourselves with substandard food, and we're treating ourselves with things that are not going to let us live long. Do we expect the world to treat us differently?
that what that makes me think of is that we were just talking about kind of the things we keep in the house and like having what type of food you keep in your
Would
household.
you
When you
speak up
talk,
a little?
yeah, can you hear me?
Now I can. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I said we were just speaking about the foods and the things that we keep in the household, and I think it's interesting because like when it's late at night and you want a little something and you need a little, whatever, you need a little, even if it's just for your blood sugar, or pick me up or booster or whatever it might be, or a little snack. Can you, if we keep all good stuff in the house, then the way we treat ourselves, even when we're ready to have a little something sweet, even when we're ready to have a little, a little something just for our blood sugar and things like that, if it's all good options, then we don't have to worry about, uh, are we sneaking ice cream, or are we not treating ourselves right, or are we kind of, there's a term people say like pigging out on stuff. If you have all good stuff in your house, I think that's where it starts. It's like, can we clean up the things that we buy when we go to the store? Like you've been heavily expressing about the farmers markets, and even the type of processed things, even the rices and even the little treats and stuff. Let's pick the best of quality of these things so that even our default is good.
Yes,
Even
absolutely. And
even
also make things in advance. Make treats and freeze them.
right.
Make things in advance. Have things ready. I had a snack the other night. I got up. It wasn't late, but I had I think it was a pink lady apple
Hmm.
sliced with cashew butter. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. There are a lot of things that you can have that are delicious. Often I have ripe plantains as a snack.
Yeah.
There's just
So
so
good.
many
A
things
little
that are
black salt on
so
them. Oh my
delicious.
god. What? Okay, so I want to talk about one more thing. Number one, I want to acknowledge Catherine and Lakesh and Veritas, Nichelle and Lakesh and Veritas. They're in the chat as well.
So happy
Um,
to see you all here. I'm glad you're here for
yes,
our lunch snack.
right, exactly. Like, so that's what this is. So we're actually going to. I'm gonna bring up one last thing I want you to touch on or speak a little about, and then after that, we're gonna wrap it up. And I'm gonna just share a little bit of what's coming down the pipeline for the next 30 to 60 days or so, and then we're gonna go. Okay, because this
Okay.
is our lunch break session. We're everybody's so addicted to this evolution and this growth that we're like sneaking it in the middle of our days, in between car rides and in between jobs and whatever it is. So I'm out and about, and we're getting it in. We're so either way. I want you to tell me a little bit about that the apple fast that you've been recommending. Share me just
Oh,
a
I'm
little foundation of that.
very excited to talk about this. First of all, I'd like to preface it by saying eat the fruit in season. Like right now, we're in muscadine season. Go get muscadines. Get them from the farmer's market. Go pick them if you can. You can freeze them. You can eat them. When you were little, Ahad, I used to freeze blueberries and grapes and give them to you all for snacks in bowls and were frozen. And you just loved the idea. It was like an ice cream because you didn't have ice cream to compare it with.
Yeah,
So
for a while. Yeah.
however, I would so encourage everyone that we're coming up into apple season. The Of the Sun family, we will all be doing a 3-day apple fast on the third week in September because apples will be very abundant. You are encouraged to pick a place where you like the apples and you know that they are not heavily with pesticides or artificial ingredients. You're going to probably need 25 to 30 apples. You're going to eat only apples for 3 days, and then you're going to take some olive oil at the end of the third day, and your liver is going to get a nice cleaning, which will then clean your skin and prepare you for the fall. It is always in our best interest to eat the fruit in season in our normal areas, get local fruit, pick it if you can, or buy it from someone who just picked it. And the apple fast is amazing. We've seen people stop smoking, stop doing drugs. We've seen people lose their appetite for whatever the toxins that they've been having. What happens is the elements, the malic acid and the elements in the apple, as you chew the apple, the skin and the flesh of the apple, and not everyone can, some people are allergic, but those who can, you fill your colon up with that by eating, 7 or 8 apples a day. It stays in the colon and it peels off the walls of the colon and it informs the liver and the liver keeps recycling whatever your drugs or whatever your toxins or whatever it's trying to clean, it refreshes it. So
Hmm.
then instead of calling for a cigarette or calling to smoke or calling to have sugar, the liver is detoxified. And at the end of the 3 days, you find you don't have the craving. So it's a miraculous thing. This is something that came to humanity through Edgar Casey 100 years ago. I've been using it for about 40 years. It's a wonderful thing to do. Of course, your experience will have to do with your toxic load.
Yeah.
However, we recommend this, maybe twice, 3 times a year to keep the liver clean and pristine and to also kind of reset. This is the same idea as Ho'oponopono. Thank you, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry. It's like, I thank you, body. I love you, body. I'm going to do this liver fast. I hope you'll forgive me. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
like that.
So, can you share? You said it's the third week of September.
Third week in September, we're going to do a 3 day fast, and we're going to be announcing it on all of the different platforms when we'll start so that we can do it jointly and we can get a bigger cleanse because
Yeah.
we'll all be doing it together. Although, if someone wants to do it separately, they can, but the idea of community and our family, our Of the Sun family, we'd love to have you join us and then hear your stories about
Well,
how it went over the months that follow.
that's what I
We've
want to.
always had a lot of excellent, excellent responses. Although some people who do it, who don't want to do it, shouldn't do it, so that they don't. Because it's if you're not used to eating a mono diet, if you're not used to the idea of things being cleaned out, this is what this is.
Yeah. Well, that's a. Everybody always hears me say on high frequency living that a kind of the point of this is group. We want to tap into group group power, the power that we have from the collective. So I love the fact that even the same way we do the group meditations, same way we're in classes, we're in the, all these different iterations of group things. I love that there's like a physical diet kind of thing that everybody can do as a group, as a collective as well. So that's really cool. And it's very on brand for what high frequency living is trying to um, stand for and represent. So I'm grateful that you're organizing that and you'll will be disseminating the information as well. Um, this
We'll
has
be
been
talking about all the many things you can do with it because you can make raw applesauce, you can make fruit roll ups, you can do a lot of things once you become introduced to the romance of the apples.
yeah.
An apple a day.
So this is the extent of our lunch break. So I will share this. We are a few days away from the first. In September, we are doing our final energy hygiene class in preparation for quantum light property clearing. And as a standalone class, it is very impactful and needed for daily life. So if anybody has not taken that yet, the last one of the year will be available in September, beginning the second week of September. Feel free to reach out to us at Contact of the Sun if you're interested in finding out about energy hygiene class. And then in October, we will be starting literally on the 1st of October, that first uh, day of October, which is a Wednesday, we will be starting our quantum light property clearing class. This class is everyone is eligible provided they have done the prerequisites, and everyone who has done property clearing before can audit it as well. So I think via high frequency living, you all hear me say very often that feel free to reach out and express any interest or questions that you have so that we can help you navigate through the process. You can also uh, connect with us on socials, High Frequency Living on Instagram, and We Are of the Sun on Instagram. And send a DM if you need to. And again, send an email at contact@ofthesun.com if you have any questions about any of the upcoming classes. Thank you so much for your time. And I will just drop this last little nugget. We're going to have these kind of little conversations in the build up to a full nutritional course potentially at the end of this year, maybe in December, in preparation for kicking off the new year. So we might be doing a class in the same setting that we do the other energetic classes that we do. We might be doing a class in December that will be fully focused on nutrition and wellness. So I will just like to, tease everybody with that now, and then we'll keep updating on that as we go. I appreciate everybody's time, and I appreciate your time. Everyone have a great day, and Lakesh and Veritas.
And with honor, respect, and gratitude. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.